So thanks, Kai, for the introduction, and good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Concordia session. My name is Elena Ferrari, and I am a professor of computer science at the University of Insubria, Italy. And within Concordia, I am co-leading the task Women and Cyber. So I will be the moderator of this section about Concordia. And so let's start our journey into the Concordia project with a short video where our project coordinator, Professor Gabi Dreo, briefly explains what Concordia is. So let's start the video.
Europe needs to gain its digital sovereignty. Concordia H2020 project is building an European digital ecosystem to interconnect all stakeholders in order to reach this goal. Concordia gathers more than 50 partners from top universities, research institutions, big industries, SMEs, public bodies, and other organizations from more than 20 European countries with a common vision to integrate available but still fragmented European cybersecurity competences into a leading European cybersecurity competence network. Concordia's main objectives are building and positioning Concordia as the European secure, resilient, and trusted cybersecurity ecosystem. Concordia also brings together technical, legal, and economical expertise in cybersecurity to European policymakers and industry. It will develop and provide a cybersecurity roadmap for Europe based on interaction and exchanges with the broader cybersecurity community and different stakeholders. Further, we strive to establishing and boosting collaboration with the aim to develop new, innovative, and marketable cybersecurity solutions, as well as supporting the development and validation of cybersecurity products by providing the necessary lab infrastructure. And finally, Concordia aims to create a European educational ecosystem and modernize training courses with new virtual elements, accompanied by the development of curricula, competitions, and cyber ranges. Concordia is going to reach its objectives with a variety of activities, from academia to industry, including education, assistance, and community building. Concordia explores cybersecurity with cutting-edge research on technical, legal, and economical aspects, providing its results to the community. Concordia addresses 5 layers of research and technology, from device-centric to user-centric security. Security is an end-to-end systems property and needs to apply across the whole technology stack. This holistic approach is fundamental to allow the industry to grow and provide secure end products. Concordia is open to different industrial use cases and development of new solutions and tools. Currently, Concordia focuses on 5 industrial fields, namely telecom, finance and insurance, e-mobility, e-health, and communication. Additionally, a European threat intelligence platform and a DDoS clearinghouse for Europe will be developed. Concordia constantly explains the changing landscape of cybersecurity to the community, with its periodic updates on different channels. Concordia talks at numerous events, providing expertise on different aspects of cybersecurity. Concordia educates by providing a map of existing courses for cybersecurity professionals, creating new courses and developing a skills certification scheme, as well as engaging with the ecosystem. Concordia promotes courses, tools, or open positions to the community. Particular attention is paid to promote diversity in the cybersecurity workforce. Concordia assists not only startups to make them grow, but also the whole community to understand the European instruments and regulations better. But mainly, Concordia connects. We connect people to build cybersecurity ecosystems by creating trust zones where stakeholders can discuss and exchange relevant information. So, visit our service board and connect actively with the Concordia network. Engage yourself in various stakeholder groups. Become a Concordian. Only together, we can build the European ecosystem to gain back European digital sovereignty. Only together we are strong. So, thank you for your attention and be part of Concordia.
Okay, so as the video has shown, in Concordia, we have a variety of activities going on in different domains. And so to discuss more about them, I am pleased to welcome our 4 speakers. And I kindly ask each of them to briefly introduce himself. So let's start with Sotiris Ioannidis, and then let's follow the order that we have in the slide. So please, Sotiris.
Hi, Elena. I'm turning on my camera as well.
So I'm not alone.
Yeah, I mean, I want to keep you company, but it seems the camera is refusing to.
No, I can see you.
Oh, okay. I can't see myself, but that's not a bad thing, I guess. So as we wait for people to join, my name is Sotiris Ioannidis. I'm a professor at the Technical University of Crete. I'm also affiliated researcher at the Foundation for Research and Technology 4th in Heraklion, Crete. So
Aiko, you are the next.
Yeah, well, nice that everyone is there. My name is Aiko Pras. I'm a professor at University of Twente in the Netherlands in the area of internet security, and I'm the research coordinator of the Concordia project.
So Christian?
Hi, good morning all. My name is Christian Hesselman. I'm with SIDN. We're the registry for the .nl domain, which means that we manage all the .nl, all the domain names on the internet that end with .nl. So this includes registration and publication through the DNS. I'm responsible for SIDN Labs, our research team, and I'm also an associate professor 1 day a week at the University of Twente, working with Aiko.
And last but not least, Frank.
Good morning, Frank Schubert. I'm the head of defense and strategic programs for Germany at Airbus Cybersecurity, and I'm co-leading the Concordia industry pilot on security for vehicular communication.
So thanks for your introduction. And so the next part of this session will be organized as follows. I will ask some questions to our speakers, and then at the end, they will be happy to answer your questions, so questions we will get from the audience. So please use the chat to ask your question at any time, and at the end, we will be happy to answer to you. So let's start. My first question goes to Sotiris Ioannidis. You are the deputy coordinator of Concordia. So will you tell us a little about the Concordia Consortium, which is quite big, very big, and connects together different stakeholders?
Yes, thank you, Elena. So if you remember from my welcome note yesterday, I said that what is important in Europe is people and unity. I mean, these are the two things. So when we set about to write this proposal, we wanted to create the largest consortium possible within the constraints of course, the time and the budget. So we created a consortium that was 42 partners in total. And we try to keep the balance between academia and industry. This was also quite important for us. Now, after the project was, of course, started, we had the opportunity to expand this, and we actually got a lot of interest from other beneficiaries, from other people to join the consortium. And to accommodate them, we went actually through phases of adding partners to the consortium, and we added 10 new partners. We're actually in the process of adding a few more in the consortium for a grand total of 52. Again, we're trying to maintain the balance between academia and research. It's also important to note that the partners that join the consortium bring in their own funding. So it's a way to promote these activities. They bring in their own funding, and we've added up a bit, I think about 7 million euros in additional funding to the budget of the Concordia project, which is, I think, quite a lot. And it shows the interest of people to join and expand the community.
So thanks a lot, Sotiris, for these insights into our consortium. So my next question is about research. So the question goes to Heiko, because he's leading the research work package that really benefits from a strong network of researchers. So I think, as a professor, that leading such a collaboration must be very, very exciting. So what are in your view the highlights of Concordia research activities?
I would say we probably do two things. The first thing is that we try to create an ecosystem of researchers. So instead of just having, say, 10 PhD students funded by an EU project, we try to get a much larger number of PhD students active in Concordia research. That's one thing, and we organize things for them, also together with the other pilots, such as summer schools, winter schools, and we try to get them at a higher level. That's one. But the other thing, and that's something I really believe in, is that research gets stronger if you know the real problems. So what we do in Concordia is collaborate very much with the industry. So we have in Work Package 2, we have a couple of application areas, and there's a lot of collaboration that we do, and that creates, say, for researchers, novel scenarios, but also for industry, completely novel possibilities. So one example, for example, is the DDoS clearinghouse, where Christian will probably say something about it, which came out of research, but went, say, to the application, and that gives researchers back enormous interesting stuff like data that they otherwise real data from real attacks that they otherwise wouldn't have gotten. So to summarize, create an ecosystem which is much bigger than the people paid by Concordia, and the second thing that we do is collaborate strongly with industry.
So thanks. So the collaboration between industry and academia that Heiko was mentioning now is strengthening Concordia by our 5 industry pilots, which are in the field of telecom, finance and insurance, e-mobility, e-health, and communications. So my next question goes to Frank Schubert. And from an industry perspective, could you please tell us something about this collaboration, so the collaboration that is going on between industry and academia in the pilots?
Yes, sure. So the collaboration that we established in Concordia is very valuable for all the industry partners. So of course, industry as itself can only do like basic research only on a limited level. Yet we as companies, we have like knowledge on use cases, applications and requirements. And this we can connect very well with the research groups. So how we approach this is during the general assemblies, the other means of communication, we talk to the research partners, create smaller research groups, and provide like a feedback of real applications, requirements to the research groups, and find solutions in the end to like bring forward the whole research ecosystem as Heiko described. So in the end, this is a very valuable collaboration. What we also see is, of course, there are classical cyber security problems, applications for some of the pilots. think of protection of networks, protections against DDoS attacks, APTs, and so on. Yet there are also very specific aspects, like if you think of our finance pilots, where you try to protect the finance sector from impersonations of personnel, then you need to go into like biometric authentication direction, and there's still a lot of open questions to be answered. Same for our security of vehicular communication pilot that we are running as Airbus. So how we set up it here is we have like links to universities like the Imperial College, University of Insubria throughout Europe. And this is usually, I guess, companies have sometimes quite a regional, local focus. We have like partners in the area where we are active. Concordia gives us the possibility to like broaden our view throughout the whole pan-European continent, so to speak. And this is quite amazing. What kind of aspects we get, not only like from Central Europe, also from Spanish applications that might run in Greece, in Scandinavia. So this is immensely valuable as a means of collaboration for us as industry.
So thanks, Frank. And so as far as pilots are concerned, besides vertical pilots in Concordia, we also have 2 cross-sector pilots. So the question is for Christian Hesselmann, and can you give us some insight on these 2 cross-sector pilots, and especially their connection with the industry pilots and with Concordia research activities?
Yeah, sure. So thank you for that question, Elena. So we have 2 pilots in work package 3, where this work is being conducted, and the goal of the work package in a broader sense is to provide the cross-sector foundation, if you will, for a cyber-safe and sovereign digital society in Europe. And to accomplish that, we basically do 3 things. We share threat intelligence between the different, we developed threat intelligence systems, and I'll talk about that a little bit more. We do things like we set up lab infrastructure, and we do trainings and education. So these are basically the core components for setting up the cross sector infrastructure. And the 2 pilots are actually focusing on exchanging threat intelligence information across different organizations. So we have a threat intelligence pilot, which is which uses the MISP platform for sharing threat intelligence information, and it basically combines 2 different systems. One is the MISP platform, and the other one is actually 3 different systems. It's the MISP platform for sharing and storing threat intelligence information. It has an incident clearinghouse, which is a system that has been developed in a previous project called ACDC. And it's about, let's say, gathering security incidents in networks and making that information available. And we have the DDoS clearinghouse, which is being developed in a different part of the work package. And these 3 components, they all contribute to what we call the Concordia threat intelligence platform, that will operate across these different sectors. And so if you focus specifically on the interaction with the sector-specific pilots, we have the MISP platform currently being used by the telco pilot in work package 2, and also by the financial pilot in work package 2. So they have actually contributed concretely with data structures, so ontologies that you need to use on top of the MISP platform to be able to express security incidents that are specific for the telco or financial sectors.
So
yeah.
Thanks, Christian. So I have a further question for you. Which other activities that are going on in work package number 3 do you think are worth mentioning now? Just do you think there are other activities that it's important to mention?
Yeah, I briefly mentioned the education part. So in one of the tasks, we're developing the profile for a cybersecurity consultant, and this is something that we developed in collaboration with the different partners in the project. So again, we're seeing the collaboration between industry and academia here. And I think that this is something that goes throughout the work package as well as throughout the project. And this is something that actually led to the development of a profile for a cybersecurity consultant, including courses that are currently being developed based on learning objectives. And at the beginning of next year, so in 2021, we're going to give the first courses as a pilot. And based on the experiences that folks gain with running those pilot courses, we will further polish the structure and the learning goals that the cybersecurity consultant training needs to go through. And that in the end, that will also come with what we call a certification scheme, so that folks can actually do all the check marks and prove that they did that they are capable of fulfilling the role of a cybersecurity consultant.
So thanks a lot. So far, one of the highlights of Concordia is this strong collaboration between industry and academia. So this leads me to another question for Frank Schubert. So which are, in your opinion, the main benefits that Concordia can bring to industry? I mean, not only big company, but also SMEs.
So surely the same things that we appreciate, like collaboration, contacts to research groups, is not only valuable for us as a big corporation, although cybersecurity within Airbus is also quite a relatively smaller unit. The same values apply to small and medium-sized companies, even startups. So, and I think what's really valuable here, of course, Concordia has a strong technical focus, but what's actually important for startups, SMEs, often goes beyond this technical focus. If you think of regulations, you have to think of data protection regulations and how to intervene this in the like product development process. Such questions are also being handled by Concordia in the education stream, for example. So this is something also smaller companies can benefit of. In the end, there are sort of some groups of companies that are active in cyber, companies with another focus, companies that are active in Concordia already, companies that are still outside. And for all of them, there's a benefit. They could like work with Concordia. They could benefit from a cyber range, for example. If you're an unrelated business, but you need training means, you could work with Concordia, get access to our open source cyber range, and like take a benefit from that. You can contact our the policy makers, lawyers in the end to get advice. There's a network of experts. I think this whole ecosystem really is of large benefit to not only corporations, but also SMEs and especially startups.
So thanks very much for that. And now I have a question about what. Sorry, so
shall I grab the token from you?
Okay, yes.
I'm gonna grab the token from you and relieve you of command temporarily, because we know you're the leader. So
I'm working on role-based access control, so I mean, I used to playing with the role and shifting from one role to another.
So, let me relieve Elena for a second here, and link up to also the flow of the discussion in entrepreneurships. So Elena, when we were writing this proposal, one of the pillars was women in cyber. It was a topic that was very close to our heart, and we're glad that you're actually leading this effort within Concordia and of course beyond Concordia. Can you talk a bit more about women in cyber and maybe women in business?
Yes, thanks for this question. I'm very happy to answer to this question. So as you mentioned, in Concordia, we are constantly promoting diversity And to be honest, by looking to the number of women that we have on the stage in today's event and tomorrow, I'm more and more convinced that we need to push this goal because we are still, unfortunately, very few. So there is the big need of doing something in that, because of that, to fill this gap. So in Concordia, we started since the beginning implementing this view because we have a woman as a project coordinator. And I'm very happy because I think that for this big project, a woman helps a lot. But besides that, we have worked on a variety of activities in the first 2 years, almost 2 years of our project. We started from the definition of a manifesto by working together with all the different stakeholders. And this manifesto that was launched and presented on a focus workshop gave us, let's say, the requirements to discuss, design, and develop for further action. So we start by understanding the landscape, by talking with different stakeholders, so different focus groups working on different topics, with the aim of being effective with our action. Then we also launched the role model campaign because one of the main issues for increasing the number of women working in cybersecurity or in IT field is that there is a lack of role model. We are few and we are not so visible. So we started to do this campaign starting from women in Concordia, but then we broaden our scope to other women working on cybersecurity. And then, as you mentioned, now we are launching a set of webinars. The first one will be next Monday in the afternoon. And this webinar will be on a set of topics related to diversity, ranging from research to teaching and other interesting topics. The first one will be on entrepreneurship. And as I mentioned, will be next Monday. So I invite all the people that are interested in these topics to join us. The details of the webinar are on the Concordia web page. And this webinar, this set of webinars have an innovative format. So besides having what you are expecting from a webinar, so a set of talks from distinguished speakers, we also have a mentoring activity. So there is the option for participants to have a private point-to-point communication with our distinguished speakers. And this is very, very important because, as I mentioned you before, mentorship and role modeling is fundamental. So if you are interested, you can join us. And the last point I would like to mention that we are trying to where we are trying to work on in Concordia is that women in cyber is not only a task done by women and for women. We need the strong collaboration also of men because they are the majority. So without working together, we cannot do anything. And also, I don't like this kind of events that are, segregating women that are talking to each other about their problem, and that's it. We really need the collaboration of men. We are implementing it in Concordia, but this is a message that I would like to bring to the general attention. So again, please join us in this effort. Now I can switch again, or if you don't have any further remark.
Well, I would like to thank you for your answer. I would also like to point out that, unfortunately, of course, Gabi could not be here, but the way she structured her team with Corina and Ivana, for example, without them, the project would not be as smoothly run.
Yes, absolutely.
So there are a lot of unsung heroes and women in cyber that actually support Concordia and couldn't be here without them. So on this note, I'm passing the role back to you. So role-based access control, as you said.
Yes, so now I switch my role again to the role of moderator, where I am authorized to to pose questions to the audience, not to answer. That's how role-based access control works. So my next question is about what Concordia is doing in support of policy making. So in this respect, one of the main goals of Concordia is to devise a cybersecurity roadmap for Europe. And I would like to know more about both these two aspects, especially about the role the roadmap can play in the European cybersecurity landscape. So, Sotiri and Aiko, could you please comment on that?
Aiko, should I start and I'll pass the talking to you? Okay, yes, the roadmap is one of the critical activities of Concordia, and we need to be able to plan for the future. There are a lot of parallel activities that are going on in terms of research, in terms of industrial activities, in terms of standardization, promotion, whatever. So all these activities need to be planned ahead in order to be successful. So we're talking about European digital sovereignty, and we're talking about innovation in Europe, and we're talking about all these great things. But without planning, this is going to be very hard to achieve. So our goal here is to look at all these spheres, all these domains, and try to see where we stand and where we want to be in the upcoming years. Other pilots, of course, have their own piloting activities, and we're in collaboration with them and discussing with them, along with, of course, the Commission and other agencies in Europe, to try to see what is the vision that we're seeing for the future, what is the vision they're seeing, where we overlap, and ideas we're going to exchange and promote this for the future. So critical activity, the roadmaps is going to be the future and show us the way. It is quite important we pay the right amount of time and effort into this activity. And with this, I'm passing the token to you, Aiko, to complement this response.
Well, first, Sotiris, thanks, because the kind of things that you said are also exactly the kind of things that I believe in. We have to work together to solve, say, the problems of digital sovereignty that we will face with. So what I could probably do is give an example of something where I think that we should work at in the future in Europe. So if I look at a couple of areas related to digital sovereignty, I see quite some initiatives in Europe. So I'll give some example. Gaia-X started not too long ago on having European federated clouds. We have also quite some attention in Europe on quantum and everything related with it, quantum computing, quantum crypto, whatever. We have in Europe activities on a European microprocessor. But what I found amazing, if you look, if you dive into a roadmap, what is the research that we should do? That you don't see something which I would say is comparable for communication. Whereas Thierry Breton said that it is digital sovereignty is communication, data, and now I should say it well, computing. We have for computing and we have for data something, but we hardly have anything for our, say, future internet. And I think it's crucial that we create also a roadmap where we look at trusted, resilient networks, trusted in the sense that European citizens can trust that their data cannot be misused by say non-EU organizations or whatever. And that's something where until now there is limited attention for. People take it somehow for granted. And these kind of things become visible if you work on a roadmap.
So thanks a lot, Aiko and Sotiris. So now that we have described what Concordia is, I have a last practical question for Sotiris Ioannidis. So we have a big consortium and we hope that others can join us in our effort. So how can people outside Concordia engage with us?
So thank you, Elena. As I said a few minutes back when I was describing the consortium, our goal is to grow the community, grow the people. And that's why this has been an increased number of partners have been joining Concordia. Now, not everyone fits this role, and not everyone wants to play the role of partner, of course, of full-fledged partner. So we have structured a number of other ways that people can engage with us and promote the cybersecurity community in Europe. So what we've done beyond the partner role, we have set up these stakeholder groups. And we have set up 3 different stakeholder groups. One is the National Cybersecurity Competence Center and Agencies stakeholder group. The other is the Observer Stakeholders group. And the final one is the Liaison Stakeholder groups. Now, each of those focuses on different types of organizations. So we're focusing on maybe agencies or international agencies that want to link with us. We're talking about the European agencies, or maybe the European Central Bank, Europol, and whatnot. And we're talking about industry and academia that just wants to follow the project and see what's going on. So different types of organizations have different requirements. So I propose everyone should go on our website and look exactly at what these stakeholder groups represent and how they can join them, and see how they can engage. Now, beyond that, we really like people when they engage with us in social media and discuss with us and maybe tell us things, and maybe we promote their activities. So there's different ways to engage. Full partner, part of the stakeholder group, or just someone that wants to link with us in a more loose capacity, promote things for them, or promote things, or they promote things for us. So these are the different roles that that people can play, and in linking with us. So we hope that we grow this community, and we hope we have the right tools to do that. That's how we structured it this way.
So thanks a lot, Sotiris. And now we are open. We have 10 minutes left for questions. So if you have any question, just type your question in the chat, and all the speakers can see the chat. And so please. So if you have any comment or question or feedback for us. So I will start with a short question for Sotiris again. So each year, Concordia organizes an open door event. Could you tell us more about this event, and why is it important to attend it?
Well, this is again one of the activities that we're having to engage the community. Community is number one. Unfortunately, this cannot be done in person anymore. Maybe again next year. But even this year, we were able to do it virtually, and have a lot of different tracks that promote research and standardization and entrepreneurship. So if you want to learn more about Concordia, that is maybe the one main event that you can attend and get the full picture. It's progressing in every year, and it's evolving, obviously, and it's the event to go to, I guess.
So we got a question from the audience, from Mark Miller. Can you talk about Concordia results? So if
maybe we should talk about the pilots.
To start. Yes, maybe the pilots, yes.
I could report on the security for vehicular communication. So apart from, we shifted our focus more towards research in the beginning. So here some publications were created together with the research partners. And this is, in my view, worth a lot, probably more than any report. If you really have a scientific paper that was presented at a conference, will appear in a journal, maybe even. So this is one of the output that we generate. Apart from that, we also support the research with procurements. We are running demonstrations. And there's also a video available that shows an application of like a UAV communication in the field of authentication. So like bringing together this research into real demonstration, accompanying with scientific publications is the one of the relevant output we see from this activity.
Thanks. Any other comment from the other speakers?
I can add two things. First, if you look at research output, so that's measurable. We had last review that was this summer. After 18 months, we had more than 150 papers published that acknowledge Concordia, which I think is a lot. And the other thing that I would like to mention, and Elena, you might like that, is how successful our women in cybersecurity are. So if you look at their positions in steering committees, in organizing events, to my surprise, the most visible, the most active are the women. So in that sense, we need more, and that's better than having more of these people like me.
So we got another interesting question from Velizar Shalamanov. How do you see the Concordia activities after January 2023? And do you see option for more formal collaboration between the 4 pilot and EXO after 2022? So it's a very interesting question. So Sotiris, would you like to answer?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm gonna answer from my perspective, so maybe not even the Concordia perspective, but my perspective. But it's something that I promote anyway. So there are lots of ways to continue this activity, and one would be, for example, and I'm starting from the end, is to have some sort of formal collaboration under the auspice of the European Union and the Commission, maybe with a little bit of funding to promote events like the Open Door event that Concordia runs, or this event, so that people can get together and collaborate and discuss and think of new interesting things to work on. The Commission does have tools to do that, and so it would be great if we can accomplish that. Now, going to the first part, the more informal one would be more collaboration in terms of people. I'm going to talk about me. So I typically have a cluster of people or cluster of organizations that I work with, and maybe at every funding call round, I'll try to expand this a bit, but maybe with just a little bit. I think what the opportunity here and the way we're doing all this networking is to, instead of having 10% new collaborators in every project, go for 50%, and that would be huge. So we can do it at the official level, or we could do it at the quote-unquote personal level by expanding our links. And this is happening with Concordia. We're getting more collaboration from different people and have collaboration before. So I hope I covered the questions. Again, from my perspective, I don't have any. I don't want to answer as an official, as my official capacity as deputy coordinator. I'm just my personal ideas.
So any other comment on that?
I think that, at least from a Concordia perspective, I think that our pilots give a lot of additional insights that might help further collaboration between the larger pilots. Because if you look at the pilot, the DLS Clearinghouse, for example, which is my specialty, we not only look at the technology, but we also need to integrate the legal perspective and organizational perspectives. And this is really something that's unique, I think, to this consortium, where we combine all these perspectives. And I guess that this is something that other pilot projects can learn from, and also we can learn from them how they combine these different perspectives. Because in the end, if you want to have a operational cyber safe and sovereign digital infrastructure, you will need to combine all these different perspectives. Doing just technology or just operations or just legal, that's not enough. So I think that combining these different perspectives to get things into operation is really crucial.
So thank Christian. We have 1 minute left, so we cannot continue this discussion at the coffee break, unfortunately. And so just to conclude, I really hope that the people in the audience can have now a better idea of what we are doing in Concordia. And we are doing a lot of things. We are doing tools, research projects, vertical and horizontal pilots, a roadmap, and other activities. But again, from my point of view, I think that the main added value of Concordia that I'm personally experimenting every day is that it really connects people. And we succeed in creating an open environment and a trusted environment that motivate each of us to be focused and work together. This is, in my opinion, so I agree with you, Sotiris, that at the beginning mentioned people, that the main added value of Concordia is that. And this will last, I mean, after the end of the project, because it's something that can last for a long time. And this is something that is really happening in Concordia, and it could not be taken for granted with such a big project. So please join us in this effort and join Concordia, engage with us, go to our channels in the various social network and social media on our web page. And with this, I really thank all the speakers, and I really like the different views they brought to this panel. I thank all of you for attending this session and enjoy the rest of the program. Bye-bye, and thanks again.